How you doing? My name is Leonard, and welcome, excuse me, to another episode of the Need for Speed Most Wanted Car Build, where we just basically take cars in the game, try to go around the track, and fast as possible, best lap, yada yada yada. In this episode, we're going to use a car that a lot of people, from what I've heard, don't really like in this game quite a lot. It is the Cadillac CTS. This car often gets widely ignored, and from people who have used it, they said it's just not a very good car. But I am going to find out if that's actually true or not. But as we're looking at the stats here, the handling is its lowest part. It may be a bit of a worry. Top speed is alright, and the acceleration seems to be great. But could it be the worst of the bunch? Could it be worse than the Monaro? We'll find out. That means, of course, taking it to the Petersburg circuit track, where I'm going to have 6 laps to just try to get this car as fast around the track as possible to set the best lap time that I can. The current leading car is, of course, the BMW M3 GTR with a 58.33 seconds. The closest car we've gotten so far to that is the Porsche 911 Carrera S with a 59.73. And already I'm noticing right away the CTS, the handling on this is not sharp at all. It's not looking too promising. It's not terribly slidey or nothing, but the problem is it lacks grip. You feel a noticeable sense of understeer as the car goes around these corners, and that's definitely something that's, I think, very largely playing to its downfall, is the fact that it's just not getting around there as fast as possible. And yeah, it looks like it's also a little bit unpredictable too with these slides now I'm seeing here with that particular spot. Excuse me. We'll have to just see what kind of time can we achieve. It's gonna, oh god, it's gonna look like the time that I'm going to have to be aiming for. So if I can beat that 1 minute 5 point whatever now at this point that I set with the Vauxhall Monaro VXR. I need a second screen soon, so I can just one day start doing these videos and just have the notepad that I'm doing to put in the leaderboard times in, just to make my life a little bit easier. So I'm just kind of going what's off on my head, which I may have to start finding a way around soon, because it is, of course, it will probably get a bit more difficult the more cars I start adding in. But I've got an idea, of course, which will probably do the job just well to me. But yeah, the CTS, I'm seeing why a lot of people don't really like it. This isn't a very good handling car. It's not bad with speed. It's a good speed-wise, it's all right. That's the good thing. It's the handling that's definitely playing to this car's weak point. It's hard to really keep the speed up, because you really gotta. It just doesn't grip enough. It doesn't have enough traction power compared to some of the other cars that we've seen so far, which is playing to this car's disadvantage. But as we saw there, it's apparently enough to beat the Monaro. It did a 1 minute 3.74. I guess maybe I just wasn't very good with the Monaro. Who knows? Either that, or I think it's the fact that the Monaro's weak point was its speed. And acceleration wasn't probably as good as this. I think it's the fact that the CTS can at least get up to higher speeds is probably why it's beating the Monaro right now. But it's got a long way to go if it wants to beat the next car up, which is, of course, the Subaru Impreza, which had pretty much a 1 minute 1.3. But it's not as bad as I expected. I expected this car was probably gonna rank pretty low and be around the same time as the Monaro, but it's not as bad as I was expecting it to be, which is a good sign. The CTS is doing better than I was going to give this thing credit for, to be honest. That's quite good around there. I got a 1 minute 2.63. That's actually a pretty damn nice time. I'm actually quite surprised by that. I was thinking in my head, right, this is probably going to be around the same area as the Monaro in terms of times, but it's got a 1. But I think it's just the fact that it does carry enough speed, because it can get up to speed faster than Monaro, is why I was able to do a 1 minute 2.63 just now. Of course, this lap, it's clearly not going to beat it. I'm just kind of really screwing this one up. But to say the least, I'm just glad that the CTS is not all the way at the bottom, because I do share a bit of a... I really like the CTS as a general car. It's always one of the Cadillacs I preferred the most because it's just so different compared to what Cadillac was doing at the time, and it kind of built the foundation upon what Cadillac was to become in many ways, and there's a reason why the CTS is still sold to this day. Although Cadillac has really been pushing the ATS because apparently it's doing quite well. Yeah, 1 minute 3.3. Although I must say, even with all that screwing up I did, that's a better time than I thought I was gonna get. Probably cutting a little too much there, which is gonna harm my time a bit. But I could probably definitely tell where this is going to land. But damn. I think this won't have the, I think this won't get up to the Subaru's time. Oh god, this won't get up to the Subaru's time anytime soon, but you know, you just gotta try and see what finds out, I suppose. But you know, excuse me, throat got a bit got like phlegm or whatever the thing is stuck in my throat, and it's making it a little bit more difficult for me to actually say things, because the more I talk, the more I start to feel it again, the more I feel the need to clear my throat. Better not be getting sick. I don't think I am though, so that's a good thing. And yeah, that was not a good time at all. 1 minute 5.2. That was just a disastrous lap, to say the least. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm ever gonna get a time soon where I get the last lap is the best lap. I'm really hoping someday that turns to be the case, but doesn't seem to be how it's turning out to be so far, to say the least. But you never know. Okay, yep, we're not beating this time, right? That pretty much set the nail in the coffin now. And oh, look at the sky; it's actually quite nice, like sky textures. I'll probably provide a link to the guy who did in the first video. I'll probably provide a link to in the first video of the series of the link to where I got this this lighting mod, because it's a really nice mod. You're gonna need the mod loader to get the lighting thing to work, but it's really nice. And plus, I also have his global file, so the textures, of course, appear different as they would in a normal game. But it makes the PC version just look a lot cleaner and a lot nicer. And of course, I have the 13AG widescreen patch, so it's got proper widescreen. It shows like proper widescreen. But yeah, that last lap time was also not very good. Was it worse than my previous lap? Oh, definitely. 1 minute 7.7. But yeah, that third lap with the 1 minute 2.63 was definitely a surprise. I was not expecting this car to get that kind of time. So in the leaderboard, the CTS goes into second last place with the 1 minute 2.63, though it does, of course, still have quite a bit of a lead over the Vauxhall Monaro VXR. It is, of course, though, down on the Impreza and Cobalt, and of course, it's way off when it comes to the Carrera S and the M3 GTR. But yeah, CTS, maybe not the worst car in the game, but you know, the handling is what might have turned quite a few people away from it. But regardless, thank you of course for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to let me know your thoughts, and as always, take care.